Okay, so hopefully this recording space works. Let me make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I have my little knot that I made around the crochet hook. And actually, I think it's a little bit too loose. So let's make it a little bit more tight. There we go, that's better. Okay, so I have my crochet hook in the knot. Let's move this out of the way. So from the loop, I'm going to do 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I'm going to take it, and back here where I made the very first stitch, I'm going to put the crochet hook in. Whoops, maybe. Crochet hook in and do a stitch to close it. And this is just a slip stitch, so we're going to do that. Okay, so now I have like a loop of yarn that I made, and I'm going to pull up the yarn a lot so that I don't lose it. And then I'm going to take a, oops, that shakes the camera a little bit. I'm going to take a stitch marker. That's what these are called. They're called stitch markers. And I'm going to put it in that last stitch that I just made, the one that I just closed the loop with. And then I'm going to close the stitch marker. Doesn't seem to want to work. Okay. Now I'm going to put my hook back in, and I'm going to pull this to tighten it again. Tighten the yarn a little bit more. So we want the stitches to be not super tight, but a little bit tighter than I just had it. Okay, so now if you are looking at this loop that I made, all of the stitches look like little V's at the top. See what I'm talking about? Looks like a V, looks like a V, looks like a V. You want to take the hook and put it between the two pieces of yarn that make a V. Whoops. No, maybe. Try that again. Okay, like that. And then do a stitch right there in that loop. And then do another stitch. So 2 stitches in the same loop. So that was 1, 2. Now you want to do it in the next stitch over, the next V over. You want to do 1, and then in the same, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but in the same hole, 2. And you want to do this all the way around. So next loop over, you can see right there, do 1, 2. Okay, and one more time, next loop over, which again, it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of getting pulled in, but you want to do 1, whoops, maybe. Yeah, 1, 2. Okay, now this is the last one right before the stitch marker. So do 2 more. 1, 2. Okay, so now we are at the stitch that has the stitch marker. You can see that it's hooked in right there. And we've made sort of a circle. And I have to count all of the stitches that I just made because I wasn't keeping track. And we should have 10. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 stitches there. Now, in this stitch that has the stitch marker, right next to the marker, so just in this one loop, we want to do 2 more stitches. 1, and then it's getting kind of tight. 1 more right next to the stitch marker. 2. So now if we go around our circle and count one more time, we will have 12 stitches. So move this marker out of the way because it's kind of hard to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now that we have our 12 stitches, we can take the stitch marker out of where it is. I'll pull this up so that I don't lose my work. And I'm going to put the stitch marker in that very last stitch that I just did. So that's making a teeny tiny circle, and that's the start of a lot of circles that we're going to have to make these bees.